So if you're watching this video, I know that you love tennis, I know you're interested in it, I know you're interested in Tsitsipas. Today I watched the Tsitsipas against Donaldson match. Tsitsipas won 6-2, 6-3, 3-6, 4-6, 6-3 in the fifth. And a couple things really stood out to me this time, very similar to what happened with Tomic yesterday. Remember the zones, A, B, C, and D. Tsitsipas was hitting 61% of his shots into zone C, which is the inside half of Donaldson's backhand. 61% of shots. Remember, I chart everything. Return to serve, passing shots, winners, rally balls, drop shots, every single shot. I just mark where they land, right? And that's what I come up with. Tsitsipas was hitting 61% of his shots to zone C. He hit 5% to zone D, the outside alley of Donaldson. 31% to the forehand inside, zone B against Donaldson, right? And 3% to the outside, zone A of Donaldson's forehand. 3% of shots go to the outside of Donaldson's forehand. That's amazing. That is shot selection. Forget about cross court, down the line, where do you hit your pass, where do you do this, when do you do that? Play your opponent's weakness. That's all this says. Do not risk going to the outside of that forehand of your opponent. A, it's his strength. B, the line is there, so it's close, you might miss it. And C, when you're the player and you decide to hit a ball to your opponent's forehand, you feel in your head the extra pressure. And that's where the errors can come from. So if you avoid doing that, you avoid those errors. Now, when he had game point, when Tsitsipas had game point, zone A, outside of Donaldson's forehand, 1% of shots. 1% of shots. That's insane. Go to the Donaldson forehand outside. Then 31% to zone B, which is the exact same. 3% of his shots went to the outside of Donaldson's backhand, right? That's pretty wild as well. And then 64% of those shots go to the inside of Donaldson's backhand. So Tsitsipas, when he has game point, is deciding, you know what, I'm going to hit the ball huge and heavy right at you. If I miss long, okay, but I will not miss wide because there's no payoff there. And that's what these guys are really doing, is they're figuring out where's the payoff and how can I get to it. There is no real payoff for going towards the lines. That's what's the most interesting thing. When Tsitsipas is defending a game point on his serve or on Donaldson's serve, he hit 68% of his shots to zone C, the inside half of Donaldson's backhand. 68%. That's amazing. That's basically not even thinking. That's not even having to wonder about what you might do on this point. All you're going to do, hit it to the backhand. Okay, Donaldson, you want to win this point? Beat me with your backhand. That's what Tsitsipas is deciding, and that's what makes a huge difference in the big points of that match. Obviously, if you're going 5 sets, this is about a 50-50 matchup, right? And that's what I've been studying, is 50-50 matchups. So when you get to the big point, make him beat you with his weakness or her weakness, right? One thing that really stood out to me on this match, when I was counting winners versus unforced errors, I had Tsitsipas with 9 unforced errors in the whole match and 13 winners. I had Donaldson with 6 unforced errors and 14 winners. So if you want to know what I consider a winner or an unforced error, you can look at my other videos for sure. They're not back there. I don't know why I pointed back there. But on my channel, you can look at my definition of those. A winner is a shot that isn't touched but wasn't an obvious winner, right? A put-away volley to me does not count as a winner because, of course, it's going to be a winner. There's no reason to count that as a winner, right? If you randomly hit a backhand cross court and it's a winner, that is actually a winner. They're playing more of a war of attrition. They're going to hit a heavy ball again and again and again to the center of the court, basically zones B and C, and that's the way that they're going to play. And that's the way they're going to get through not only the ATP level, but they're going to get from the futures to the challengers and challengers to the ATP, because they're going to be able to hit a heavy, fast ball again and again and again. They're not getting through challengers by hitting winners and by hitting lines. That's not their strategy. It's that their ball is too big for guys at a challenger level. So they eventually just break them down that way. without that much risk and pretty much playing the same game they play right now, right? But imagine thinking that Tsitsipas and Donaldson had 9 and 6 unforced errors, respectively, right? That means they're only making the wrong decision a couple of times in the whole match. When they get on defense, they're putting the ball to their opponent's backhand. When they get a ball to hit, they're going for it, right? That's how you could play with a commitment and with a clear mind, is if you know, hey, here's the right things to do no matter what, whether I win or lose. And you know, execution's going to be different every day. That's why we play this game, is to see, hey, can I do it today? But it's always going to be different. So whether you make it or miss it, it's not really in your control, so you can't really worry about it. But the decision-making process and where you're hitting these shots is the most important thing that we could watch from Tsitsipas. And I think it really helps his demeanor to know, hey, here's my plan, here's what I'm going to do. That was the right thing to do whether I made it or missed it. One stat that really surprises me as I've been watching matches is the return of serve and the tactic that these guys take. Tsitsipas made 84% of his returns, right? If you can be putting 84% of your returns in play, and in play well, so you're not, right away getting hammered, that's a huge advantage to you as a player because you know you're going to get into the return games. I mean, Tsitsipas could have won this match much sooner had he converted more break points, but still he's getting there, right? By making returns. He hit 6% of his total returns aggressively. 6%. Imagine how often you think about winner returns or trying to do this or that with the return. Neither player today chipped and charged or hit a return and moved to the net one time. Not one time in 5 sets on grass did they hit and charge. Donaldson hit 8% of his returns aggressively. So as players, when we're returning serve, what we should really be thinking first and foremost is, hey, get good contact on this ball, get it to his weaker side. That's it, right? But again, like I said yesterday, totally different than, hey, let me just put this ball in the middle, get the point started. That doesn't happen. You cannot start the point against your equal because your equal will take advantage of you. The third thing that I saw today in this match that was just shocking to as I was watching, I was thinking, why aren't they doing this more, was the winning percentage these guys had when they go to net. When Tsitsipas approached to Donaldson's backhand, he won 87% of the points. 87%. 20 out of 23 times that Donaldson was forced to hit a backhand pass, he lost the point. Tsitsipas won 64% of points when Donaldson was hitting a forehand passing shot, right? 7 out of 11 times. Now, if you get the chance to decide where you want to hit the approach, right? Let's say you get a sitter and you can hit it wherever you want. Would you rather go to the place where you have an 87% chance of winning the point or a 64% chance of winning the point? 87, right? So when you get that short ball or when you get a ball that you want to approach on, approach to the backhand. It's crazy if you do anything else because if you go to the forehand, just like I was talking about earlier, you know you have to hit it perfectly or else his forehand could maybe pass you, right? So maybe you miss more when you start going to the forehand. That's something to notice. And that's an unforced error. When you decide to approach to the lower percentage spot, that's an unforced error. Now, you may win the point. Doesn't really matter. But you made the wrong decision already, right? So what Tsitsipas does is he almost always goes to the backhand, no matter what. If you watch him, even with his volleys as well. If he can't put a volley away, that volley goes to the backhand because he knows, hey, I still have an 87% chance of winning this point if I could make Donaldson hit a backhand. I'd rather have Donaldson set up to hit a backhand pass than give him a forehand on the run pass because we've seen it a million times. Guys can create fantastic shots with their forehand. It's not really that surprising anymore. So why do we even allow them to do that? Tsitsipas doesn't. He goes right to your backhand again and again and again, and he's just going to beat you that way. Donaldson hit 2 backhand passing shots for a winner. For winners. 2 out of 23 went for a winner. So when you come to the net and you get passed, realize, hey, that's only going to happen 2 out of 23 times. It doesn't even matter. It's not a factor. You don't really have to think about where is he going to go past me. You have to think about what am I going to do when this ball comes back to me. To me, that's shot selection. To me, that's thinking and playing the percentages in a way that's not anything except for related to winning the point. That's shot selection. That's thinking. So again, if you want to talk about your matches with me, send me your videos, comment down below, find me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or wherever you want to find me, and let's talk, because there's ways to start beating people who are just as good as you, winning those 50-50 matchups, and I can help you with the way that I'm doing these matches. Thanks for watching.